Welcome back to Reviews on the Run. Vic and I just got out of an afternoon screening of Jordan Peele's latest opus, Nope. Is that the name of it? Nope.
Yep.
Vic bought me a ticket to Nope, and I said, who's on first? What's on second?
You almost said Nope.
I almost, well, you know, like honestly, there was some gravity around this film for me because I am a horror specialist. I love this stuff. I love feeling the little bit of creep on the back of your neck. Close your eyes just for a second.
All right.
That's what it's like.
Did you enjoy Get Out, which was the big sort of reveal of Jordan Peele?
I love Jordan Peele. I think he's a wonderful, creative man with a very unique vision.
Absolutely.
I don't love his films, though, and I know that's going to be very hard for some of you watching to accept. Jordan Peele, I think, is a very talented, very intelligent individual. I don't enjoy his films as a horror aficionado.
I loved Get Out.
I know, but we're not on you yet. We're going to get to you in a second.
All right. Okay.
So for me, he feels like he has really big ideas, and sometimes those ideas are so big, and he's so fascinated with them that they sort of derail the creep effect of the film. So I end up feeling like I'm watching like 3 or 4 TED Talks in a row instead of watching a sort of like make my palms sweat, give me a little neck creep on the back kind of like no holds barred, unrelenting horror film. Ari Aster, I feel the same way about. Like his movies are so cerebral sometimes that it's hard for me to really sort of tune in to what's happening. But how did you feel? How you like Get Out quite a bit?
I loved Get Out. Us, I was a little lukewarm on. There was some cool stuff in it.
Sure.
Yeah, but it wasn't as good as Get Out. And I'm a huge fan of the extraterrestrial, maybe outer space kind of genre.
Are you?
That like Close Encounters.
Do you think
of
it's
the Third
real?
Kind. Yeah, of course.
Do you believe?
Have you seen those pictures from the James Webb telescope?
So
how could there not be life out there?
What are they doing out there?
Well, they're hanging back.
What do they want from us?
They want to see how long we're going to survive, and then they'll come. And
sometimes it doesn't feel like much longer.
Not much longer, no. So I like that, and I like the fact that Peele is pivoting, and it's not just a straight horror experience. And by the way, we're not going to spoil what does happen in this movie. We're just
going to
be
very careful because there are some big reveals here.
They have done a little bit of big reveals in the trailer, though. But the cool thing about the movie is that it's not even what you're expecting it's going to be. You know, the Close Encounters sort of tips of the hat are definitely there. They're there in the trailer, so we're not spoiling anything. And they're there in this film, but it definitely veers in some interesting directions. And I thought there was some really good material in this movie, but god damn, it felt long. And boy, was I bored for big chunks of it. And it felt so indulgent. Like we're just having these quirky moments after quirky moments. And we're getting into the brother and sister relationship between Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer. And they're good actors. They're really fun to watch, but it just felt a little labored. And I kept thinking of Close Encounters of the Third Kind and how sort of in their skin all the people were and how comfortable everybody was and how the camera felt like it was eavesdropping on real moments. And this one doesn't quite feel that way. There's also, I think, a real kind of attention to, Hollywood iconography and stuff in this movie.
Way too much attention. Yeah, and I feel like that's one of my problems with Jordan Peele is like everything means something. Like if somebody's carrying a golf club, that means something. If there's a certain decal on a shirt, like I get it. I love the attention to detail.
The intelligence.
But as somebody who's going to see an afternoon movie with Victor Lucas, I just kind of want to park my brain at the door.
Well, you want to feel more. Right?
I want to feel more, and I agree with you 100%. I felt like it didn't really find its stride ever. And, I felt like at certain junctures, like I was watching a David Lynch film. Like, again, I was outside of it 98% of the time, and I'm admiring what's going on.
Totally.
Like, lots of brave things are going on, and there's lots of incredibly compelling digressions that feel like TED Talks to me, like all of Jordan Peele's films.
It's a dissection of
culture and history and
filmmaking.
Hollywood
and filmmaking.
Exactly.
And some interesting, intelligent stories to tell within that, but the heart is missing. Like the real sort of like sweat sort of falling down your face as you're watching it and gripping the chair. You're just I was too intellectually stimulated, not emotionally stimulated.
You're stealing my argument now.
Well,
Why
I'm not trying to steal it.
That's
I was.
my argument.
I was.
If you say it, then what am I going to say?
Well, that's. I think we agreed on this. That happens every once in a while.
Agree.
Sometimes it does, but I felt like.
Oh, I thought you were having fun the whole time. I didn't know. Yeah,
no.
I really felt like this was long and tedious, and there's so many logic issues later in the film, in particular, where I'm like, why are they doing this, and how does that work? And now they've got these colors on, but that means something else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I lost the thread throughout this, and I just wanted it to be simple. I wanted to feel a little one of these.
Yeah.
And I never felt that. I never really found my groove with this picture. But again, like it's like a David Lynch film. I just sort of got caught in the imagery of it all.
Yep.
I got caught in the surrealness of it all. Jordan Peele is an incredibly brave filmmaker for sure.
Yes.
And he knows what he's doing. And
always interesting.
Always interesting.
But I don't know if he's reached that level of sort of crossover appeal that Get Out had. You know, Get Out kind of worked on a bunch of incredible levels, and it was really satisfying. You could go in without looking at any kind of statement that the movie was making and still be rocked by it. And I don't know if that exists here with this one. I think that there's some really compelling imagery and some compelling performances, but it's so aware of itself, it just doesn't feel...
It's so self-conscious, that's right. Like everything is so carefully considered. You can just feel how painstaking it was to make this movie, but it adds up to so little as far as I'm concerned.
What I do like, though, is that Peele is now veering into Spielberg-type territory, though. You know, like he's got some great panning shots and some zooms into people's faces as they're flipping out, and there is this kind of mythic quality to a lot of the framing and a lot of the storytelling that he's putting together.
Everything is considered, without a doubt. It feels considered, though, and the thing is, it's like if I'm watching a movie, I shouldn't be thinking like this is nice framing here. Yeah, but that's the kind of thing I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah. But I like this new territory that he's in. I like that he's not boxing himself in just into out-and-out shock horror type stuff every time. He's not M. Night Shyamalan-ing his career, which I think is very good. You know, although there are echoes of M. Night Shyamalan's less successful pictures in this movie as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like I just kind of kept waiting for this thing to wake up.
Yep.
And sort of grab.
Or was that you?
No, I never fell asleep throughout this thing. I had a giant bag of popcorn that I would give a 10 out of 10, but I don't think I can give this.
I was
going to
ask how you enjoyed that popcorn.
Oh, so good. You're really missing out.
Yeah, it certainly had some entertaining and interesting elements, but for the most part, I was pretty checked out, just sort of observing the filmmaking, and that's not how I like to go and enjoy my movies.
Right. And
as you know.
You're someone who loves being enchanted by what you're watching, and I'm so surprised this really didn't enchant you.
I was not enchanted.
Sure.
Yeah. What are you going to give? Nope.
A very unenchanted 6 out of 10.
6.5 from me. I'm right there with you.